Voiceover. Today we're putting two very different 2025 headliners under one lens. The 2025 Volvo XC90, Swedish Serenity on wheels, and Toyota's GT Super, a modern halo coupe built to make your pulse jump. We'll walk around both cars in detail, linger on the bodywork, and talk paint palettes and exterior packages so you can pick the exact look that fits your vibe. Voiceover. Let's start with the Volvo XC90, a masterclass in quiet confidence. From the front, you get a clean rectilinear grille with subtle chamfering around the frame, bright gloss on higher trims, darkened on sport packages, flanked by those unmistakable Thor's hammer LED headlamps. The DRL signature is crisp and horizontal, then flicks inward like a lightning stroke. The hood is long and gently domed, creasing toward the windshield to emphasize length without looking bulky. Walk your eyes down the sides and you'll notice the XC90's trick. Upright glass and a high shoulder line that communicates space and safety, yet the surfacing is taut enough to read athletic rather than boxy. The wheel arches are sculpted with soft radius cuts, nothing cartoonish, just controlled muscle. Voiceover. The rear is classic Volvo, vertical light towers that bookend the tailgate and sweep above the shoulder line. LEDs create a continuous signature at night, minimal, elegant, unmistakable in your mirror. A slim spoiler extends off the roof to manage airflow, and the lower bumper cleans up with hidden exhaust tips, Volvo's way of decluttering the form and nodding to an electrified future. Voiceover. Wheel designs set the tone. Expect 19 to 21-inch options with diamond-cut faces and matte pockets, or a darker satin finish if you prefer a stealth look. Chrome trim can be swapped for blacked-out window surrounds and roof rails via a sport or dark theme, and there's a brushed metal skid plate detail on adventure-flavored packages that adds just a hint of off-road credibility. Voiceover. Now, colors. Volvo's palette is restrained, timeless, and meant to age well. Think crystal white pearl for a pristine, architectural feel, onyx black for maximum formality, denim blue and thunder gray for that North Sea mood, platinum gray or vapor gray if you like a softer, stone-like tone, and a warm bright dusk or sand dune metallic for a bit of sun-kissed luxury. The trick with the XC90 is how these paints play with natural light, matte-ish metallics that glow rather than glare. If you're filming or photographing your car often, these hues look amazing on camera. Voiceover. And here's the opposite philosophy, the Toyota GT Super. Low nose, long hood, cab pushed rearward, the classic front engine, rear drive Grand Tour stance, distilled. The fascia is dramatic. A wide center intake with functional brake cooling inlets, a sharp splitter, and layered aerodynamic surfaces that guide air around the front wheels. Headlights are slim and techy, multi-beam LEDs with a triple pod signature that reads motorsport at first glance. The hood carries deep heat extractor vents, and the fenders are pulled tight like a tailored suit. Voiceover. From the side, the GT Super is all proportion and tension. A strong character line arcs from the front wheel to the door cut, then dissolves into a deep undercut that sculpts the lower rocker. Frameless doors, flush handles, and a roofline that flows into a dramatic fastback. This is the silhouette that makes you look back every time you park. At the rear, you get a kick-up ducktail integrated into the decklet, thin LED blade taillights, and a vented diffuser that actually manages underbody air. Twin exhaust finishers sit wide to emphasize stance, and an optional carbon package swaps the lip, mirror caps, and diffuser to exposed weave. Voiceover. Wheels. Expect lightweight 19s and 20s. With motorsport-inspired Y spokes, forged options for the track-focused trims, and a staggered setup that fills the arches just right. Brake calipers can be color-keyed, think red or yellow, if you want that pop behind the spokes. Aero kits bring a taller gurney flap, side canards, and a vented hood in carbon for heat management and aesthetic aggression. Voiceover. Color options on the GT Super are bolder by design. Classic Super White for purity and contrast. Volcano Red and Solar Flare Yellow if you want retina-searing energy. Liquid Silver and Shadow Graphite for a technical, metallic sheen. Electric Blue for that tuner scene nod. And a stealthy matte Storm Gray if you're going full super spy. Pair any of these with a black roof or carbon roof panel and you've got instant two-tone drama. Pro tip. Bright colors emphasize the sculpting and light breaks. Darker tones flatten the body and make the car look lower and meaner. Voiceover. Put side by side, you can see the design philosophies. The XC90 is calm, vertical, and symmetrical, confidence through clarity. The GT Super is kinetic, low, and asymmetric where it counts, confidence through speed. Even the lighting tells the story. Volvo's light bars serve identity and safety, Toyota's blade LEDs serve identity and aggression. Voiceover. Let's zoom into the details that most people miss. Mirror housings. Volvos are body colored and wind tunnel tuned for low noise, Toyotas are compact, aerodynamic bullets that slice air toward the rear haunch. Badging. Volvo keeps it minimalist, block letters spaced across the tailgate. Toyota uses a classic roundel up front and a GT Super script at the rear with a subtle metallic shadow. Grille textures also tell a story. The XC90 uses vertical bars and open mesh sized for cooling without looking aggressive. The GT Super embraces a motorsport honeycomb with active shutters for efficiency when you're. Voiceover. For the XC90, personalization is about polish. You can opt for a bright theme with satin chrome accents, a dark theme with gloss black trim, a panoramic roof that visually lengthens the body, and roof rails that can be finished in silver or black. Skid plates front and rear add rugged cues without turning the SUV into cosplay off-roader. If you live where winters are harsh, the darker wheel options hide brake dust and slush stains better. Small thing, big difference in daily satisfaction. Voiceover. For the GT Super, personalization leans performance. A track pack might add a front splitter extension, rear aero plates, and a center exit exhaust reroute for weight savings. Carbon mirror caps and a carbon ducktail not only change the look, they shave grams where it counts. You can also spec a black pack that deletes brightwork entirely, window surrounds, badges, exhaust tips, for a murdered out silhouette. And if you're into visual drama, color-matched calipers and a contrasting roof are the two quickest ways to make thumbnails pop. Voiceover. Here's how to choose your color like a designer. With the XC90, lean into the Scandinavian palette. Crystal white is unbeatable for a modern, premium vibe. Denim blue and thunder gray make the SUV look tailored and slim. Bright dusk or sand dune give warmth and richness, especially at golden hour. If you film content, these tones keep reflections controlled and make edges readable. With the GT Super, pick a color that matches your intent. Electric blue and volcano red telegraph speed and draw the eye. Liquid silver shows off every crease like a studio mock-up. Matte storm gray turns the car into a stealth fighter. Just remember matte finishes need careful washing. Voiceover. Lighting is more than just style. Volvo's matrix LEDs carve precise beams without blinding oncoming traffic, and the tall rear lamps make the XC90 highly visible in rain and fog. The GT Super's projectors prioritize forward punch and corner illumination, excellent for mountain drives, and the vertical rear LED blades keep the tail clean while signaling instant L. Voiceover. Think about your lifestyle. If you're hauling a family or gear, the XC90's roofline and rails make cargo attachments simple, and the squared tail opening means weekend IKEA runs won't beat you. If your weekends are track days or early morning canyon runs, the GT Super's low nose, aero management, and lightweight wheel options make every minute behind the wheel feel like the main event, even before you hit the throttle. Voiceover. Two personalities. One is all about serenity and timelessness, clean lines, thoughtful proportions, and colors that feel like they were mixed from clouds and stone. The other is about tension and speed, taut surfaces, aero intent, and paints that shout as loud as the exhaust. Whether you choose the 2025 Volvo XC90 or Toyota's GT Super, the exterior is where the story begins, how you arrive, what you say without words, and how every driveway becomes your own little stage. Voiceover. Tell me your pick in the comments. XC90 in thunder gray with dark wheels, or GT Super in electric blue with a black roof. Hit like if this helped.